Good morning everybody, welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. Hope you're all doing great and welcome to this new video on XRP. We're going to do a full update on XRP right now. What to expect, what the different possibilities are. I mean, the price action has been quite interesting for XRP in the last couple of days. Dare I say that it has actually been relatively bullish. I mean, I know that there's always people watching these videos that kind of laugh at me when I say, you know, if you take a look at a chart like this on the daily time frame for XRP, and I'm saying, oh, I think we're actually pretty bullish. Obviously, if you look at this chart, it makes no sense. But what I mean with relatively bullish is that we're relatively bullish compared to the markets. And I'll show you that in a moment. Some of you that are very attentive already saw that I was grabbing the XRP BTC charts. But outside of that, I actually think that, you know, compared to the market, but also in terms of when you specifically take a look at the structure that XRP has, there actually is a chance for a rally here, and I'll tell you why. But we'll talk about those two things mainly. So let's get right into it. Now, first of all, I'm actually pretty happy about my personal performance regarding XRP. I think if you watch my videos over the course of the entire last week, I think you were very prepared for what was going to happen, right? I mean, we called the pullback from Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday. We called that, and then yesterday morning I told you, it actually looks quite bearish. I think we're going to fall down lower into the point of control at 2.41, where I expect support. And so far that has been correct, right? So that's always great, because ultimately my main goal with these videos is always to make sure you are prepared for trading XRP, but also just knowing what XRP is going to do. Obviously, I'm not always right, but I try to be at least like 70 to 80% of the time. So, pretty good reaction. Now, two main things that I wanted to discuss regarding XRP. First of all, relative strength. You can see that XRP BTC has found support at a very strong support level right here, which is around, well, I'm not going to call the numbers, but you can very clearly see that this is a very relevant level where we found support. And then ultimately, what I potentially like even more is that you can actually see we had early signs of getting some sort of an uptrend. Now, we have failed to hold the uptrend, which we started on Friday. So this is XRP BTC, not XRP on its own. But I actually think we have a lot of support here, and I think we have a chance from that support to reclaim the uptrend. So ultimately, I think we are well positioned to at least not underperform Bitcoin, which means a lot, because a lot of altcoins are underperforming Bitcoin. So at least I think we're good enough to not get that, and I think we have a chance actually, depending on the fundamentals and how they develop around the markets. And I think we have a chance to even reclaim the uptrend we started last week, Friday, like I said. So that is pretty good. Outside of that, we also have a pretty interesting structure. And for this, I'm going to draw something. Hopefully you don't mind. But sometimes what happens is when you have a value area, right? So basically a range. And you have the value area high right here, value area low down here, and the point of control in the middle. What happens very often is that when price breaks out, which XRP did over the course of the weekend, sometimes it pulls back to the point of control of the range it broke out of. And if we get a strong reaction there, we actually have a chance to break out again and rally up higher. And that is the fractional, I think you can call it, but also just the pattern that we're seeing right now for XRP. And I think we have a realistic chance to do that based on the relative strength of XRP, but also based on my thoughts on Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin is forming a local bottom, and I think we have a good chance to rally up higher. But you can see XRP broke out above the value area high right here. Now we drop back down into the same range, got a good reaction at the point of control, which is this area right here. So now, first of all, I think it's most likely, based on what I think about the markets, that we will be able to rally up to 2.55 and 2.58. I'm going to be conservative, all right? I'm going to be conservative and say I think it's most likely we'll reject from there, and we will just stay relatively stable, and then maybe later we'll be able to break out up towards 2.8, but I will be ready for 2.58. If we're able to break above 2.58, 2.59, that structure, that pattern, which I just showed you, is in play, and then if we have some volume as well, I think we can easily rally up to 2.8. So I think, you know, some further bullish momentum short term here into stability is most likely, but that is me being conservative. And honestly, I think XRP has a pretty good chance, not over 50%, but I think we have a pretty good chance over the course of the next week or so to rally into 2.75 and 2.8. I'll keep you updated on that, of course, but I think that's what you need to know for now. So thank you for watching. Take care, everybody, and bye.